Okay, you ready? I just want to hear about your experience, how things have been. I think people need to know how students are being affected by things going on right now.
Okay, so my name is Emma Zuck. I'm a student at Ryerson University, and I am in first year film studies.
So I'm Caleb Gray. I'm in my second year at Dalhousie, studying mechanical engineering.
My name's Eva. I go to the University of Waterloo for architecture, and I just finished my first semester in second year, and I was on my first co-op term.
Hi, my name is Darshina Danu. I go to the University of Alberta, and I am going into my fourth year in a political science major.
My name is Daniel Liss. I'm a sixth year politics and governance student at Ryerson University.
Can you tell me what the past few weeks have been like for you in regards to school?
The last few weeks of school have been very turbulent, I guess. Like, it was a bit of a roller coaster, but also the way that we kind of got into a routine was actually pretty smooth.
So yeah, it's hard to believe it's only been 3 weeks because so much has happened. All my classes are either pre-recorded or via Zoom conferences. And then I guess the latest big announcement from the University of Alberta was that this semester they were no longer going to be allotting grades, like in a GPA form, to students, and that every course was just going to be a pass-fail. And I think that was pretty controversial, still is very controversial.
Everything kind of went to online school here. One of my classes was a design class, which was all hands-on stuff. So that kind of just ended with what we had done so far.
So 2 weeks ago, I left my co-op job that I was doing in Brussels, in Belgium. And about a week before I left, I didn't think things were too serious. But by the end of the week, I was getting really worried. Numbers were skyrocketing in Belgium, and countries started to close their borders, and people were just acting really fast. It was only until Justin Trudeau made his statement.
Let me be clear. If you're abroad, it's time for you to come home.
That's when I was allowed to just start booking plane tickets as fast as possible and leaving Brussels and coming back to Ottawa.
How are you feeling throughout that process?
It was extremely stressful, especially since it was happening so fast. It was mostly relief when they said I could come home and not worry about the credit, because I just felt like I was kind of risking my health and safety just for a credit, which is important, but not as important as it should have been.
What are you hoping to get from this year and semester, and has that changed at all?
I was hoping to get a solid GPA coming out of this semester specifically, because next year is kind of the year that I start applying for grad schools. I've kind of accepted that that's not going to happen, but I guess I'm hoping to kind of finish this year off unscathed, or relatively unscathed, just kind of get through it. I've been appreciating the time at home more.
They don't affect my future plans too intensely. Like, I know, because I think like initially when this first happened, I was like pretty upset and just like, this is not going to be the same. I'm not going to get to learn how to use all of the equipment that we were still supposed to learn how to use. And now I'm more like, well, at least it's only 4 weeks. Mainly, let's just finish it and like do what I can in my own time, I guess, to supplement what I would have lost. I think that it'll be hard to say until I'm actually in my second year whether I notice that there's like a gap in my knowledge because of us moving online, but I guess at least it'll be consistent with all of us.
The school's come out with a lot of statements about how we're going to move forward with my summer semester, because I'm supposed to go to school in the summer from May until August, and that's been canceled and now it's online. I had put a lease down and money down for a house near my school, which is 6 hours away from where I live. And so now that is something I have to deal with. So that's uncertain, and then they don't know if the school may or may not open in the summer. And yeah, that's mainly like the biggest kind of uncertainty that I have right now.
What has been your main concern leading up to all of the changes that have happened?
You know, I wasn't thinking about it too much till I saw it happening on the news, and it's that Convocation would entirely be canceled. When I saw other schools canceling their Convocations, University of Toronto and York in particular, I became concerned that Ryerson would do the same. And so I wrote to the president of the university and the provost and the dean of the faculty of arts, asking them to really take a different stance on the issue, really consider postponing. Your choice in words that you select to communicate is really important. It creates a lot less anxiety in the student body to say it, to reassure them that they will convocate and that their convocation will be postponed, rather than saying, oh, it's canceled, we'll figure something out maybe.
And how do you think your profs are doing adjusting to online classes?
They're all doing it differently. So some of them have been very lenient, like getting rid of finals completely, which is nice. Some of them have added multiple papers.
One of my classes was a design class, which was all hands-on stuff. So that kind of just ended with what we had done so far.
We're doing a lot of alternative assignments and stuff, but it was all thought of post this all happening. As much as like I understand the circumstances, it is like, oh, now we're doing film school online. This isn't really a thing.
Was wondering if you had any words of support to the students whose convocations are canceled.
I've seen the petition going around, and I think that's the right move. I think so. To those students, I would encourage them to keep on what they're doing with the petitions and to keep on pushing at university administrations to really prioritize the students during this crisis. I just, I feel for the students who are struggling right now to complete their studies, and would encourage them really to keep the pressure on universities to prioritize their needs.
And so if you could talk to students across the country, what would you say to them right now?
Just tell them to try and stay focused on their work and don't let the distractions of being at home get in the way of it.
I'd say try to find a balance between feeling like you have to be productive and also just taking a rest.
I think being transparent and communicating with faculty and like with your professors, because I know that throughout this transition, as much as it feels like some of them like don't care and everything, at least within my program, when people have spoken up about like the changes that are happening, they've been very willing to accommodate people and also to make changes that feel effective.
It's really rough, and we're all missing out on things that we've been looking forward to forever and hoping to participate in, and it sucks. It sucks for a lot of people, but I think we just have to look at any bright side in the situation, whether that's at least you get to stay at home with your family and be with them and work on school, or maybe your exams got canceled and you're happy about that, or maybe you can find some way of learning through this online medium that you wouldn't have otherwise.
Now, exams in one form or another are going to be starting this week or next, and will go as late as end of April for some students. What was clear to me is that for all students, no matter how far along in their degree they are or where they are in the country, they're really going through it right now. So be sure to lend some support to whatever post-secondary student is in your life. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe and give it a like or share it with your friends.